Iran is falling and nobody's talking about it. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. The other day, I was watching a channel on YouTube, and it was Patrick Bet David, and he was talking about Iran. Now, Patrick and his family migrated from Iran. I believe it was right after the fall of the Shah, and the current people who are in power, or party in power. It was around that time when they took over that Patrick Bet David and his family left. Patrick Bet David was a child, of course. But there's some very serious stuff going on in Iran right now. And it seems like it's not getting the attention it deserves. So starting at the end of December, some protests broke out. The protests initially were initiated by the merchants and the shopkeepers. However, then the students got involved. And then, boom, hundreds of protests all over that country. And since that time, allegedly dozens have been unalived by the security forces. Hundreds have been incarcerated. Iran is struggling. The normal person in Iran is struggling to get food, get water, all the basic necessities to maintain a family and a household. They're struggling to get. They're having shortages when it comes to electricity, power outages. Their currency is in the complete gutter. That country is in some very, very serious trouble. It's been said that a notice has gone out that the banks will probably be closing their doors. And when you hear that about a country, that country's in trouble. The supreme leader has said that he wanted to squash the rioters and protests. However, their leader, their president, has said that it should be balanced. Dealing with the protesters and the rioters should be more balanced. That seems like two completely different things, right? I'm surprised to hear the president of Iran say something that seems to be in contrast with what the supreme leader wants. Now, Iran is a country that has sponsored a lot of very bad things across the globe, right? Especially targeting Western countries. But one thing that's been known about Iran forever is that the people of Iran, they do not hate the West. It's the people on the top, the people who aren't going to go to war, the people who aren't going to be in harm's way. They have all the biggest ideas of hatred towards whoever they hate. And because of what they believe and what they've been pushing, what they've been focusing on, like exporting certain types of violence, building certain type of weaponry, their people have suffered. I don't know if Iran is actually going to collapse. You know, there's been protests in the past. But one thing that we should take note of is there's been threats towards America that America better not go through with it, and you know, weird things have been thrown out when Iran's leaders did this to their nation. You know, you can't put your finger up to the rest of the world because of the weapons that you want to create and then blame those people for trying to keep their citizenry safe. What's more important? Having weapons or having a nation that's prosperous forever? I don't know what the Iranian people can do, but I know that they've been living under a certain leadership. They've been living under a certain type of rule that has not benefited the prosperity of that nation, the prosperity of the people. Iran, that's a place with, some would say it's the seat of civilization. The past that they have. These are people who could do great things if they're allowed to. These are a people that are highly educated, and yet they can't buy water. They can't keep the electricity on. They're working their asses off for less than what, $200-300 a month. America may have its problems, and we have a lot of problems. But even the homeless can find a place to eat here. Even the homeless can find a place to sleep. I'm not trying to compare the two nations, but I'm saying a country that has oil, has a high literacy rate amongst their population, has people who are go-getters, and a lot of young people in their nation. They should be in a better place. The veiled threats, blaming America, blaming the U.S. for the problems that are going on there is irresponsible. That's not going to convince your population that it's America's fault just because you say it. They're right there. They see what's going on. They're enduring. But people can only endure so much. I'm hoping there's a change in Iran. I'm hoping that the people of Iran get the leadership that they deserve and the opportunities that they deserve. We don't need to be engaged over there in any form or fashion. They can take care of themselves, and I hope they do soon. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. And by the way, before I go, make sure you each individually research what's going on with Iran. We need to be aware of these things, man. I'm out of here.